Now, is it still the case that there are some jobs which favour men over women, or vice versa? One typically male-dominated profession has been the construction industry. Men in hard hats, wolf whistling at unassuming ladyfolk as they pass by. So even in 2015, does a sexist attitude towards recruitment in certain fields remain? Rebecca Hart leads Nottingham City Homes Women in construction project.
There are several subliminal messages that are going out to women that might put them off from entering construction. I think generally it's a lack of knowledge about the opportunities in construction, why women don't see it as a possible career choice. Once you're working in the role, you build up, your strength does build up, therefore your speed picks up and you're able to do just as good a job as men, if not better. Lots of things need updating in the construction industry if it's going to be a more inclusive environment for women. But I think first and foremost we need to take positive action to make it a more attractive career choice to women. I mean, currently there's, I think it's 11% of construction-related roles are filled by women, and less than 2% of those are actually on the tools, out on site, doing the trades jobs. So. Yeah, I think we need to do more to get women into those kind of roles.
Well, I personally have never seen a woman on a construction site, but I may well be in the minority there. Maybe the two of you have. Let's talk, before we talk about construction specifically, just more broadly about the sexism that still lingers when it comes to recruiting people for certain jobs. Joy, you've had a fair old whack of life experience in all different fields. Have you come across then or now sexist attitudes towards you because you're a woman?
Yeah, but the other way.
Well, they hired you because you were.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you've been in sort of entertainment, though, and the writing business, haven't you?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And the way to get a job in the business is to just go in with a low-cut frock and a big smile on your face. That's always worked for me.
It's always been my technique.
Yes, it works for me, yes.
But does it mean, if we've got to have women on building sites then, can we do the old...
Of course you can.
Can we?
All right, so you cool.
You can look at my builder's bottom any day.
What a very unpleasant image to put in the mentality of Nottinghamshire and beyond. Vic, academia is one case in point. You're being naughty today. Academia is one case in point because it's only still relatively recently that women have been put on, maybe not still, but almost an equal footing.
Yes, that's true, more of an equal footing, but for many years I worked in industry, and prior to that I was at a boys' school. So I spent quite, my formative years hardly seeing women, and therefore, because it was all male-orientated, especially in manufacturing, you had a particular view of women, and that could not be helped. The good thing is that women started coming more into engineering and do into all sorts of areas of work, and that's good because then we mix, we understand each other much more. So I think it's a good thing. More of them. I was at a boys' school from the age of 8 to the age of 18, and so had very little contact with women. And actually, then when I went to university, I did modern languages, and there are far more women do modern languages than men. And I don't know, I did have difficulties to start with, actually interacting with women, and I think that's an issue as well, isn't it? Because a lot of the old guard, the old school, the men who were directors of companies, let's say, in the last, two decades, hadn't had a lot of experience with women, didn't understand them, and therefore didn't employ them, even though they weren't being sexist.
Yeah. There's never been a man born that understands women behave.
No, but we learn to know that you like to gossip and all the rest of it and talk too much.
I tell you what we do want. I'm talking to all the women of Nottingham now. Stand up for your rights, girls. We want equal pay. We want equal pay. We're not getting it in any field.
No, that's true.
Just very quickly and finally, we did start this conversation about men at work in construction. Would you work on a building site?
Oh, I'd do anything, me. You know I would.
Imagine you shoveling mortar.
I built a wall only a couple of weeks ago.
I bet your grouting's impeccable. Next tonight, a Nottingham woman campaigning to get more females involved in construction says the industry is still out of date and needs to change to become more inclusive. Historically, building has been seen as a male-dominated sector, but Rebecca Hart's doing all she can to change the status quo. Danielle Hall reports.
Sadly, these signs could not be more accurate. According to one scheme in the county, just 11% of jobs in the sector are occupied by women, and only 2% of these are actually on building sites. Rebecca Hart is an electrician, but is also running Women in Construction for Nottingham City Homes to try and change things. But after her first 3 months in the role, she says we've still got a long way to go.
Lots of things need updating in the construction industry if it's going to be a more inclusive environment for women. But I think first and foremost we need to take positive action to make it a more attractive career choice to women. I think generally it's a lack of knowledge about the opportunities in construction, why women don't see it as a possible career choice.
So what's the situation at this building site in the city centre? How many women have the builders here worked with?
Women? What, as scaffolders? None personally, but I have seen a couple of female scaffolders on jobs.
I've not. Could you say I have?
None.
Carl has been working in scaffolding for 14 years and in that time has only seen a handful of women with jobs in the industry.
It's a hard job. Pumping kit, obviously on a job like this, 15 lifts high. As higher you get, the harder it gets. So I suppose you need a bit of a muscle. There are other jobs in the building trade that women, I've seen like loads of plasterers, carpenter women. I mean, I'd always take a woman on, train them up.
Although it's been argued women might not have the muscle for every job, Rebecca thinks physical strength actually has very little to do with how capable women are on site.
I think it can definitely spark a debate around whether women are just as capable as doing the role. There seems to be the association with physical strength, but really it's all about technique, hard work and dedication. But I think you find that once you're working in the role, you build up, your strength does build up, therefore your speed picks up and you're able to do just as good a job as men, if not better.
Rebecca's role involves working in schools as well as running monthly taster workshops to give people the opportunity to get hands-on experience of what working in construction is like. And she hopes that a few years down the line, signs like these will finally become a thing of the past. Danielle Hall, Notts TV News.